what is project management and why it is important. Hello everyone and welcome once again. So today we are going to have a brief overview on project management, which is extremely essential. There is a growing demand of sensible and user-centric projects and we need to manage it very well. Let's go. We are going to focus more on the software project management, as I am a computer engineer and a program means a set of instructions like adding two numbers, like it is a set of steps. Software is the collection of programs and its engineering. That is, software engineering means designing, developing and maintaining software. Like you can see, for example, apps or websites. And software project management encompasses all the activities needed to plan and execute a project. So a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service or result. That means it is basically a process to create the final product. And software project is a planned endeavor to develop or enhance software system involved in tasks such as analysis, design, coding, testing, deployment, releasing to meet specific goals and requirements. And software project management is the process of planning, organizing and controlling software development activities to deliver projects on time, within budget, with the desired quality within that particular scope. The main goal is to enable developments to work effectively towards successful completion of project. SPM is basically a proper way of planning and developing a project. The roles and responsibilities. First is defining a project, that is deciding what needs to be done. Second is estimating costs. Third, ensuring there are suitable people to undertake the project. Fourth is defining responsibilities. Fifth is scheduling, and sixth is making arrangements for the work. The software manager is the one who manages all the tasks of the software project. The responsibilities of project manager are planning, organizing, staffing, that is selecting right people in various fields, directing, monitoring, that is keeping the track of work, controlling, taking actions to remedy, and innovating and representation, that is explanation. The skills required are management, technical, problem solving skills, scoping, conceptual, leadership and communication skills. The chatbot, which answers all your questions. What needs to be done? You have to create a chatbot, AI based software to answer questions about various topics. Cost, you will have to hire an AI ChatGPT expert, advanced AI features which could be paid. People, like anyone developer or AI experts. Responsibilities, like constructing the code, front end, back end and connecting the database, etc., or any unique feature. Fifth is scheduling, like you can do during weekends, etc. And sixth is like location, computer lab or cafe, then deployment and all. The essential skills required are leadership, communication, organization, critical thinking, and sense of humor. The steps of project planning are objectives, scope, stakeholders, work breakdown structure, scheduling, cost planning, and communication. Now we will look at the project management framework. So it is a way of how the project management is done in a systematic way. So we will first see the waterfall model. It is a very basic model which follows step-by-step evaluation. The steps are design, implement, test, deployment, maintenance. So the advantages are it is a base model, it is good for smaller projects, and results are well documented and easy. The disadvantages are no feedback, that is, it is really conventional, high risk and uncertainty, and 60% efforts maintenance. The second type is spiral model. It consists of 4 steps. The first is objective determination and identifying alternative solutions. Second is identify and resolve risks. Third is develop next version of product. And fourth is review and plan for next phase. So it is good for risk handling large products, flexible, but it is complex, expensive and too much focused on risk. The third is agile. This is now used by most of the project developers and it's really popular. Like the steps are, a large project is divided into small chunks, then it is released, then the users give the feedback, then through the feedback the companies or the developers enhance their product and they do the pre-release. And it is the advantage of frequent delivery, user-centric, less time consuming. Disadvantages is the issue of maintenance and the documentation is not possible. SDLC, that is software development life cycle. This is really crucial. So it is a structured process that is used to design, develop and test good quality software, and its goal is to develop high quality maintainable software that meets user requirements. So the first step is plan. We plan all about the project. The second is defining the problem statement or defining what needs to be done. The third is design, UI UX design or any model design. The fourth is build, developing. The fifth is testing. And the sixth is deploying the final product. After testing, when we see that there are no errors, we will look at the project life cycle and processes. So there are 5 steps. Now, process is a series of steps and decisions involved in a way work is completed. Project life cycle is framework that outlines the different stages a project goes through from start to finish. First is initialization. It is responsible for defining a project at a high level, usually being with the business case. Business value is the entire value of the business, tangible plus non-tangible elements. Feasibility study, cost benefit and all those things, basics. The second is planning. Here project plan is created and all involved in the project will follow it. It begins with setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time. And the scope of project is defined and project management plan is created, identified and all those things. Third is execution. It receives business approval. You develop a plan and build your team. The execution fails, turns your plans into actions. Creating tasks and organizing workflows, briefing team members, communicating with them, monitoring quality of work and managing the budget. The fourth is monitoring and controlling. It works for effectiveness of the project execution, taking reviews and making reports. The fifth and the final step is closure. Analyzing project performance, analyzing team performance, documenting project closure, conducting post implementation reviews, accounting for used and unused budget, for allocating resources for future projects. Now we will talk about steps for defining project scope. Project scope refers to the definition of a project's objectives and deliverables. Now deliverables means documentation or some data for reference. It outlines what needs to be done to complete the project successfully. And goals, objective, that is the steps that lead to goals, deliverables, tasks and activities, constraints, that is budget, time and scope. For example, you are creating a website for your college. The goal is to make the website for the college. The objective is to make it user friendly, interactive, and also it should be error free, free of fraudulences, etc. Deliverables, report of project. Tasks, first to create the graphical user interface, that is front end, then back end, then database, and then all that PayPal and all those links you can connect. The fifth is constraint, and like for example duration 3 months within ₹5,000. Requirements, stakeholders and managers will discuss about risks, times, contents, etc. Project exclusion means defines the boundaries of the project. Work breakdown structure. So this divides large complex parts into simpler parts. Like for example, you are creating an event, divide was planning, then invitations, then foods, then publicity, then entertainment, and then other miscellaneous facilities. The next is Gantt chart. So it is a horizontal bar chart which will give you graphical visualization of project, which helps you to plan and coordinate tasks and crack the goals scheduled over time. And it tells how tasks are related. The next is network diagram. It shows tasks and dependencies dependent on this task and that task. There are 2 types. The first is arrow diagram, activity based, and the second is precedence diagram, like it shows the steps. The next is critical path method. It highlights main tasks in project and it identifies most important tasks and schedules according to time and budget. And critical path analysis, first is identify tasks, then determine the sequence. Third is calculate duration. There are 2 types: forward pass from first to last, backward pass from last to first. Fourth, draw network diagram for critical path. Fifth, identify critical path, that is shortest or most important path. Sixth, calculate float, that is checks delay in time without affecting the project. Seventh is monitor the critical path. Used for project management, each node is an activity. Now we'll look at the PERT chart. It is a technique for project management and review tool used to schedule, organize and budget tasks according to your project. Project evaluation and review technique is its full name. You should identify tasks for project, define task dependencies, connect project tasks, estimate the time frame and manage task progress. The next important factor is cost estimation and budget. We will look at the methods. So the first is the Delphi method. So it is a communication style method used for forecasting and decision making involving a panel of experts. The steps are problem identification, then second is selection of experts like business analyst or the stakeholder or the project manager or a developer, etc. The third is questionnaire distribution. You distribute various questions. Fourth is round 1 questionnaires. Fifth is round 2 questionnaire. Sixth is round 3 questionnaire. Unless like the errors are sorted out, problems are sorted out, you continue making them. Then analyze and review. Then surveys, you create surveys like through questionnaire format or through asking someone else. Then prepare the final report. The second technique is wideband Delphi. It is used in decision making and project estimates. And there is anonymity, that is individual expressing their view, so it could be biased. The next is COCOMO model. So like it focuses on time, efforts, cost and scope. It defines the quality of any software projects. It is divided into 3 types based on complexity, size and cost development environment. The first is organic. It is previously solved and it is of small scope. The second is embedded. It is of highest level and it needs expert large team size like creating a missile, etc. The third is semi-detached. It is medium, less familiar and difficult to develop like compilers, embedded systems, and it is measured in kilolines of code. Organic is less than 50, embedded is between 50 to 300, and semi-detached is greater than 300. The steps are first planning and requirement, then you make a basic design, then make a detailed design, and then integration and testing. The next is SLIM model. It is software lifecycle management based on empirical research into relations between effort, time, and project size. Uses historical data to find project size and future costs. So the formula is S equal to C into E by T raised to 4. Flexible, improves visibility, higher quality. Budget planning and management are extremely essential as they impact project feasibility, resource allocation, and overall success. Very essential. You have to not exceed your budget. Oftentimes, I think that your spending should be less than that of budget, because for emergency cases, you could use that remaining budget. Risk management. Now, oftentimes you face risks, degrade the quality of your project. So, managing that is extremely crucial. So, the first type is project specific risk, like technology risk or scope creep or complexity. Second is team related risks, like skill shortage or someone is absent or communication issues. The third is process risks, that is inadequate planning or estimation. The fourth is external risk through vendor or third party if it disagrees or if something problem happens or market business changes, stakeholder changes. The fifth is operational risk, infrastructure issues, data security, privacy, which is very important, especially like if you're dealing with the finances or passwords, etc. The sixth is financial risks, budget overruns, funding issues, another important one. And the seventh is schedule risks, delays in task completion and resource availability. First is qualitative. We consider the highest priority, subjective based on quality and subject of judgment, use non-numerical data. And there is the second type, that is quantitative risk analysis. It checks numerical data, dependent on numerical data, not on qualities. So it could be unbiased. Qualitative data is biased. Now, to solve the problems, the risk response planning involves developing strategies to overcome risks. It is a technique. Its goal is to reduce likelihood and impact of negative risks, that is threats, and to enhance opportunities, that is positive risks. Steps are ongoing risk identification, adjusting risk strategies, documentation and communication, tools and techniques like risk audits or variance and trend analysis, and meetings also you can do. And for quantitative, it could be risk quantification, risk impact quantification, sensitive analysis. This is for that. Tracking identified risks and risk response planning. Mitigation strategy. So risk mitigation means correcting the errors. So the first is risk avoidance. You change project plan to avoid risk. Second is risk mitigation. Take steps to reduce impact. Risk transfer, shift risk to another party. And fourth is risk acceptance. You accept it but try to improve it. The next is quality management types. The first is quality assurance and the second one is quality control. So quality assurance ensures techniques, methods, process, assurances designed for projects they will be implemented correctly. It comes before delivering software. It is process oriented, proactive and preventative. And the quality control ensures that the things designed for the project like process assurances are followed correctly. Checks after the delivering of software. It is reactive in nature, it is product oriented, and it is a detection process. Verifies. It checks if the project is correct or not. And validate means it ensures after the deployment if the project is correct or not. And control means fixes and finds flaws of the completed product. There is the software quality models. And ISO/IEC 9126, it evaluates the quality of software. There are 4 types: external matrices, that is external assessment policies; internal matrices, internal assessment policies; quality in use matrices, it checks the efficiency, productivity, safety, and client satisfaction; quality model checks efficiency, maintainability, reliability, usability, and functionality. And ISO is International Organization for Standardization, along with International Electrotechnical Commission. They have developed these ISO/IEC 9126 for evaluation of software quality. It is used for software development, project management, and software evaluation. Now there is the CMMI model, that is the Capability Maturity Model Integration. It identifies the strengths and weaknesses and improves problems. Goal is to create a high quality software. And there are the 5 steps. First is initial level. This is erratic and reactive. Worst organization, that is the lowest quality. The second is managed process. We start managing the processes. Standards are implemented. The third is defined process, more preventative, and we are aware of flaws and know how to fix them. So now we are aware of the errors. The fourth is that managing it quantitatively. OPP, organization process performance, and OPM, qualitative project management. These are the 2 techniques. And the fifth is optimizing. It is highly mature and now it's ready for deployment. Some of the tips on how you can create an effective project. The first is check your budget, your scope, and the duration. That is really crucial. The second step is look for existing projects like the websites or apps which previously have been done, so that you can get the reference. The third is learn the skills. At least learn the basics: front-end developments, back-end development, database, and at least the basic things of the concept which you're going to implement, like machine learning or chatbots, etc. And the basic things are enough, because now AI is taking over. The next is to know generative AI and how to use it effectively for coding. And you should understand that the most important thing of your project is to correct the errors of the previous project makers. That means you should have a unique objective and something unique in your project which is different from others, not in design but in the usability, in the effectiveness, and in the interactivity, or in some sort of features also. Make sure it is relevant to the current trends and also which will give you the maximum benefit, and upload them on GitHub. I created a project, I created a profile website, I also created a heritage and culture website which was dynamic. I also created a static career dendrogram website, and also a recipe website I'm currently creating.
Also participate in various competitions. This is the Girl Hackathon.
I will share the notes, the PDF in the description box. Thank you guys for listening to this video. Hope you get the ideas of project management. Bye.